Greetings everyone, hello and welcome back to Anno 800 Extreme. So, I have to admit here something. At this point we have properly broken the game a bit here by ramping up the difficulty too much. What I mean by that is that with the perma-war settings at the moment, the AIs are also decimating each other and we are decimating them as well, right? The problem is we have too many ships at this point. And I really broke the game, to be honest, by playing on too high of a difficulty. And as we can see, the AI really doesn't have a lot of ships. I've looked up my original Extreme series and actually noticed that I was not playing on Perma War, but I was playing with Diplomacy activated, giving the AI time to breathe, time to develop. Because, let's face it, the game was not designed around the idea that you are permanently at war with them. And they're also fighting a war with each other, of course, and they're just continuing to decimate each other with us as well. So we're kind of like stagnating here naval warfare wise, and to be quite honest here with you, we could win the game right now. I could just send in all my ships into the harbor area and then into the next harbor area, because let's face it, the defenses here are not that great. So we've advanced quite a bit over the last couple of years, and at this point we were also advancing a bit too quickly here, right? With only 6 hours on the clock ticking, we have a massive fleet of ship of the lines. I think that's the fastest I've ever done it before. And the problem is the AI can't keep up with that, even on the highest setting. And one of the reasons here is our diplomacy settings that we artificially implemented here to ramp up difficulty. That was the original idea. The problem though is that it's achieving quite the opposite. And actually the combat overhaul mod says the same thing. If you want to play on the highest difficulty and you want to play with the boosted AI opponents, do not go to war with them all the time, and do also not take the wrong AIs that don't work well together. And we have the problem right now here. They're just, you know, picking one ship at a time from each other, and that makes it impossible for them to build up bigger fleets. And I could artificially now ramp this up a bit and, well, kind of like pretend that we're playing on the highest difficulty. The fact is we're not, because at the moment we would have won this game easily. So of course I still want to continue though, because world domination should be our goal, but we are going to actually ramp it up again a bit now by enabling diplomacy. That means for me, I'm going with a ceasefire now. Some of them actually want money, how dare they, but we're going to accept here. And the pirates, we might actually make an exception here. And with Alonso and also with the Admiral, and he would actually like to go ceasefire here without anything really. And hopefully this makes the things now a bit easier. So there's no more war now with the AI opponents. There's a bit of war here with the pirates, however. But the AI opponents have time again to breathe a bit, right? Build up some fleets, build up some defenses, focus on their city building, and hopefully we're able to get this back on track here, working for a nice difficulty. And if not, then we'll just achieve world domination anyway and have some fun while building our city. We'll just see what happens now on the world map with that setting and enabled again the original vanilla hard mode setting, right? So diplomacy is there, and we're just going to have fun here now. Of course, that doesn't mean that we don't have any problems. We still have problems in the face of plagues right now. A pretty big one here on my eastern districts of Scanlan, and I think with only one hospital it will not be enough anymore, so we probably will need to do a few more thingies here. Oh, you know what, I just realized I don't even have a hospital here yet. We do have it in the New World, of course. We don't have one in Scanlan yet, so let's assign one here close to the police station there as well. On the back of it, training the doctors. This should hopefully make a lot of things here a tad easier for all the dying that we have at the moment. Also, we have 460 farmers and 1,000 workers, so that makes it possible for me to upgrade a few people. In that case, what I will need to do first though is I will need to extend the range of my marketplaces, because right now they're not covering everything that we have. Also this one here, I think if we get it all the way then up here into this district, there it is. Some of them are now receiving the proper coverage that they deserve, rightfully so, and now we can upgrade them as well, right? So here you go, and let's go ahead and just upgrade and upgrade. 300, we can upgrade a whole bunch of them. 250, this guy here also wants to upgrade now. Thank you very much. Oh, there's an incident in the vicinity, that is the plague. Nothing I can do about that for now. And of course we want to focus also on a few more things, and that is advancing now to engineers, which is going to be quite challenging, to be honest, because we are running out of space. And space is actually something that we need for the 3 new products that I've planned. The product number 1 would be the fur coats or the cotton, because that takes the longest actually to build up. So in the new world, we do have the clipper now with some building materials in, at least with some defensive things in. We have lots of planks here that I would like to use as well, because in Nairobi, we do have the cotton fertility. And that's what I need, right? And let's just see that we get as much over there as possible. Also some bricks there perhaps. And of course some weapons to further ramp up my defenses here. And let's just get my ships over. Oh, look at that. Lady Margaret Hunt has overtaken an island from Alonso right here. Something that we haven't seen yet. Right, there's an island here. Oh, and there's also some battles here indeed. So just glad that they're still fighting each other, right? So we are not an obstacle at the moment, and this should help in them building up something more. Scanlon, oh, yep, very good. The plague is actually over. There was a very efficient doctor. Thank you very much for that. 13,000 on the clock right now, people. The clipper has arrived. Let's unload us a few things in Nairobi. In Nairobi, I might then actually get me, yeah, a bridge over. It's going to be actually quite difficult here, because look at that river that we have here. So we'll need to get down there a bit further and then all the way here. But the cool thing is, holy cow, it is a monstrous island, Nairobi. Look at that. The size of it is insane. There's going to be lots of cotton here for sure, and I'm probably also going to have my coffee production in Nairobi. Also what we need in Nairobi, of course, is a settlement, right? So some workforce. And with that many people here, or that much space here, I could actually build us up a smaller city. For starters, let's have a wooden industry once again in Nairobi. This time I'm going with a bit of a different setup here. So the wood industry is right at the harbor area, right? And the city is actually going to be on this very beautiful beach there. And we are just basically going ahead with, yeah, let's make it, I don't need to overdo it here really, because we are not going to need wood forever on this island. But for now, we can definitely push out some planks, some proper planks for a fast expansion. Let's go ahead and build all of this. As we can see, it's costing me workforce right away, and workforce we can get right over here. And this is where we are going to have then Nairobi. Of course, every city needs a beautiful triple road or something like that. There is going to be the, well, let's make it a quadruple road. Shall we do this? I think the quadruple road is even better, right? And this one is then going to the beach area over here. And there you go, also with a bit of space, of course, in the center to provide some service buildings, like, for example, a nice chapel and a boxing arena. And yeah, also let's add it right away, a fire station. Well, let's actually have the chapel on the other side, because I'm probably going to need the police station then right here. And don't forget about the whole
fire is out of control
plague thing. Chapel, actually let's keep a bit of a distance here so we beautify this one, and let's go ahead and start building us the first houses. And that's also these guys here. Of course, I'm doing it for a very good reason. We don't need workforce in Nairobi. We're going to need lots of it actually if I want to have my coffee production here as well at some point. So this one should help. The people, of course, moving in now, they will be able to work then at my local forest huts, and with that we just need to wait now really. Meanwhile though, we are not idle. We are going to send also some planks for Milchurch. Now Milchurch is really tiny, right? It's the island right in front of Scanlon. But it serves for 2 very important purposes. The first one is iron. We got 1 iron deposit here. It's not much, but it's something. And we also have a limestone deposit down here, something that I would also like to reserve right away as we can do this. By the way, let's make sure that we have this road here in a very strange manner right over here. Reason for that we'll see soon. And the same goes with that road here with as little space use as possible. And then all the way to that side here. Now, one thing I will need to do though in Milchurch is actually, unfortunately, building up some smaller settlements as always. We do need a bit of workforce, and this is what we can see. Yeah, difficult, because we don't have a lot of space on this island, and I still need space, of course, for my plantations. Let's just hope that this will be enough. Let's actually build that right away. We will probably need a few more planks from our main island. The iron I can neglect for now. Rather, I would focus on, yeah, on my first plantations here. We are working on the canned food, of course, and that is the red pepper. Milchurch has the red pepper fertility, so it's the only island really left for us where we can make this work. And we'll just see. We're going to need, I think, around 8 of them. That means that, of course, we will have to be careful about placement. Let's just see that we can really squeeze in. We can have a mine here. It looks like it's not possible, but of course it is possible. And as we also can see, it doesn't require that much space, really, the peppers. Let's just see if we can squeeze all of that in. And there you go. We can actually squeeze in quite a few of them. And 9 it is on the mark. And let's not build them yet, because we still need to prepare the next production, which is then right up here in Swanell. So in Swanell, we already have a nice industry now with pigs. We have workers, which is going to be important. We have 1 iron deposit left down here that I would like to use now as well. We got zinc and copper for later. Red pepper is here, but not that much space anymore. Another thing we can get rid of now is some wood production. So we have a bit of planks here, right? We got those here that are also working for Scanlan. However, in Scanlan, I still have a tinier or a smaller wood production still running as well. So 2 of them. So plank-wise, we're fine. I would like to get rid now of this area here. Alright, as much as it might hurt. We actually can use, though, the warehouses here for the cattle farms. So I'm going here with my math again. We are actually needing around 1 per minute right now for the canned food. Now, the production chain for that is actually quite complex, right? So when we consider it, the cattle farm and the pepper farm need 2 minutes. The artisanal kitchen needs 2 minutes to produce 1. And the cannery needs 1.5 minutes to produce 1. That means for a production of 2, because let's face it, we do need to have a bit of a surplus there. I do need 3 canneries and 4 artisanal kitchens. Now, just figure that out, how to calculate. No, it's not that difficult. Actually, we just have to combine the numbers here with the minutes, of course. And we do get out that usually I go with a baseline of 4, which would be easy to calculate here. And then just dividing it by 2, right? And then we get the 3 canneries that we need. And that is 4 kitchens and 4 cattle farms, 4 pepper farms, and 1 iron mine, because that is producing then enough iron for all of this. Actually, a pretty nice surplus there. We're going to get the iron mine here as well. In that case, this is workers, right? The cattle farm is farmers, the pepper farm is farmers. However, the kitchen is artisans, right? The same goes with the cannery. So this is something we need to have then in Scanlan. Let's go ahead and build us this one now, I think. Should we do this? Yes, we do have also the workforce here. It's going to be quite expensive. 10,000 for 3 of them. That's around 12,000 for 4 pepper farms. So it's a really expensive production, to be honest. And we're doing the same thing here with the cattle farms. That's 4 cattle farms that can do the job just fine, which leads to 4 kitchens. The mine we can also build right away with a warehouse then as well. Hooray! So with that, we have all of this finished, the baseline, of course, that is. Now we need to go ahead here in Scanlan, where we don't have any space left. However, I'm using, of course, my workload over there. So what we can do is we can get rid of those sheep farms here with the framework knitters. Probably this one too. Do we have any more sheep farms? We quickly check it out with the overlay. Yes, we have those 5 here and those. Right, that's it. And framework knitters, they're all gone now. Very good. Let's get rid of them. We still have some schnapps distilleries. They're dirt cheap, so I'm just going to copy them over here. No problem, right? And let's just delete them on that. We cannot relocate buildings, right? The option for that is disabled. Now we got a bit of space over here to work with. I'm going to get my warehouse up there as far away as possible, really. Let's build those 2 schnapps distilleries. And let's go ahead. Shoot, this is going to be tricky, right? We don't need 4 of them. That's my kitchens, right? 4. And that leads to the 3 canneries. Now, 3 canneries, I will not be able to place them all here, unfortunately. However, I could do something here. Let's get rid of the police station. This is going to be a bit nasty, unfortunately. But it is necessary. We have a police station here. One should be fine, right? And I'm going to get rid of these schnapps distilleries here, rather moving them over, right? Probably then here too. So the cool thing is it's schnapps distillery, so it's really cheap and I don't worry about it too much. Let's upgrade that warehouse here too to a tier 3 warehouse now, because that has 4 full loading ramps that we can work here. And this actually gives me space now, space that we can use to desperately squeeze in some of those canneries. So that is now 1 that we can have here. one here. Perfect. So we get 2 of them already. And one will probably be a bit further away. We can do another nasty thing, that is getting rid of the sail makers here. Sail makers once again are a bit cheaper, so I can move them. And I only need 1 of them anyway, right? We don't need that many sail makers anymore, as I want to transition a bit further into battleships and steamships soon. Let's get us the sail maker a bit further up in this area, and that makes it possible to yet again squeeze in 1 cannery. And even have some leftover space that we can use for whatever that comes up next. And there is something coming up then soon. Very good, so that's one thing. We should then, perfect, be able to squeeze in the fur dealer here. The fur dealer is producing quite a lot of fur. Let's actually enable fur, because this is the other production that we're working on right now. Then with the sewing machines. And the fur is requiring 2, right? So 1 fur dealer is actually enough. 2 fur dealers would lead to a nice surplus of the 2 tons of fur. And 3 would lead to a surplus that will never be met, really, or the consumption for that, right? So there we have it, the 2 new products that we have. And the only thing we now really need is a new trade route, obviously. And this one collects in Swanell and in Milchurch and goes to Scanlon. In Swanell, it collects the beef that we're going to need here. There's already the first production. In Milchurch, it collects the pepper, where we already have the first 4 tons in as well. And it gets all of this over to Scanlon. Ave Maria, off you go for this new production chain. Nice. Next up on the list is the fur coats. For the fur coats, we've already prepared now Nairobi, which has the first Honolera's workforce in. So we can now go ahead, and it has lots of planks, by the way. We now can go ahead and build us, 2 bridges, unfortunately, because I want to get to the other side here, where we have lots of space that I want to dedicate to farming. There's also some clay deposits over here. Let's go ahead and get this one done and get this one done. There you go. And with that, let's go ahead, build us a warehouse somewhere here in the region. And get cracking on fur. Now, as I said, we do need around 4 tons. We could calculate with 6 tons, right? That means 3 fur dealers. That means 3 cotton mills. That needs 6 cotton plantations. So, once again, we do need to work the magic with space here a bit, because there's also going to be the coffee plantations, and I definitely don't want to use too much space, or more than is necessary. 6 is actually quite a lot. Let's try this. So there you go, the fields of cotton active. Let's upgrade the warehouse right away, and I think we can safely build all 6 of them. Beautiful. I always love that effect. We have enough workforce here, so no problem. It's really a dirt cheap production. There only just requires a lot of space, that is. We still have more space, of course, to expand here, but of course a lot of that will be used for coffee plantations then as well. Next up, it's trade route timing again. We do need to create a new trade route, and this one goes now from Nairobi to no, wait a second, there's one. Let's do it like that. Nairobi to Scanlon, and that is of course cotton fabric, a lot of it too. We probably will need to add a second clipper to this one here to get it all done. Razor Clam, a nice name, is on its way now for that next trade route. One more thing we still need to add in Nairobi, that is the cotton mills. So I would like to separate this a bit. We could make it into a smaller industry area, like over here, for example. We have some space. Let's go ahead and add them here. And 3, of course, it is for now. We might add later on, add more later then as we progress. There is also lots of room here for the cotton, for the coffee roasters and stuff like that. Just close to Nairobi, really, as makes sense to me, to have the industry closer to the city, as people of course want to get there in a timely manner. That's however it with all the timber. I think by now the chapel is also working by now. Very good, providing a lot of happiness, so we could theoretically boost them further if need be. Now this is now working. It's going to take quite some time before the first cotton fabrics get over to Scanlon, right? So we have plenty of time to prepare other things, and one of them is down here in Demon's Pit for the fur. So let's go ahead and unload some planks. Once again, unfortunately, I mean, we have lots of clay pits here available, so I would like to integrate them. Once again, however, we do need to create a smaller settlement, because workforce is not being shared. Not yet anyway, without the commute up here. And it actually doesn't need to be that much, right? Let's just have a few blocks here. Really nothing. There you go. And then probably also a, well, not probably, but we do need a marketplace. Let's just make sure that we're not consuming too much planks. And yeah, those people definitely should have something to eat. So let's get us one fishery out there, which will be just enough really to provide for all of them. Already producing a nice surplus there. Now with that working, we can start with our fur or hunting cabins. I would like to have probably need 2 warehouses there to make the whole thing work. Make sure that we do use not too much here. And then we go ahead. Once again, I need to check now. We need around the 6 that I'm planning for as a maximum, right? That would lead actually to 6 hunting cabins if we want to have those fur dealers work full time. And of course we want to. So 6 of them, that's actually going to be quite some, once again, space consumption here. As we can see, this is still working 100%, even though there is the clay pit. But that should still be fine. It is. Number 2. Ooh. Number 3 we can make work like this. Number 4 we can have actually probably closer here then. Let's actually build them so we see the radius then fully working too. We'll be able to use them right away. We are. That's the 3 of them. And now we can see the radius, right? And we can see that this one here, for example, has 100% too. So they're not that piggy when it comes to efficiency, right? That would be number 5 and number 6. And we would still have room for another one down here. I could even boost them still if I want to. That wouldn't be a big deal either. Go ahead. Get all of them up. And let's just make a placebo road there as well, because we're not using that one for now. Let's build them. And also the last warehouse. Oh, those people are really unhappy. Probably because the fish is missing. And yeah, okay. Okay, I get it. You want a pub. Let's place one here by the ocean. Yeah, by the ocean. That's fine. It's a beautiful pub area. Or drinking a day out after a lot of hunting and slaughtering the deer. Now this is starting to work. We will need a new trade route. Lucky us, Undine 2 is in the area already. Let's create this one from Demon's Pit to Scanlan, and this one is going to go with the first. Let's make it full, even though it will never be full volume. And Undine 2 it is on this trade route now. The other one that we've created here, let's move this one to move New Worlds, because of course we want to keep things organized a bit. And off it goes with some 3 fur already over to Scanlan. This is the second production now, so cotton is coming in and fur is coming in. Leaving us with the third product that we need, and that is the sewing machines. Probably one of the easier ones if we already have an iron production up and running. We do have a nice steel surplus. Do we have that? Yes, we have a really high steel surplus at the moment. So I can make this work here, no props. The only thing is space, really. They require a lot of that. We do need around 2 sewing machines already. So a 6 is definitely realistic in the future. And with that, I will need, 3 sewing machine factories ASAP. And look at the space of them. I will probably... Yeah. Probably can't do anything at all, really. We do need to get rid of the charcoal burners there. They're not producing that much coal anymore anyway. Let's do this. Plus, we have the coal mine now that is producing a bit more. And with that, we have the space to add some whopping 3 of them.
Another player has had their
Oh, look at that. Alonso is really losing right now. I think we actually finally seeing some shifts of powers here now. With that we are not a playing party at the moment really with them. Alonso is definitely going down, right? So he's lost 2 islands now. There's still one more island up here that he's got. And this one, his main island. But it's not very well fortified. So as always, he's strong in the early game, but lacks mid to end game. And we see that because everybody hates Alonso. And everybody basically always fights him. And the Admiral is really advancing there quickly. So we might actually see a proper opponent with the Admiral then pretty soon as well. That we got the workers now, and yeah, I was actually in the process of building me these sewing machine factories. We can squeeze in all 3 of them here. That's enough for quite some time, right? So I'm not expecting that we're going to need 6 sewing machines really, but of course you never know. Let's also, I think we're already doing this. Yeah, boost the lumberjack huts by 50% because I want logs. And I think we can start with that now. The first sewing machine factory, let's build the first 2 of them actually. 150 artisans we can work now as well. And the other thing is, I think also now, yeah, beef and red pepper is in. That means we can also go ahead here now with a very expensive production. That's the 4 kitchens. 28,000 it costs me, all of this. And also 3 canneries. That's actually 45,000 that this costs me. Plus it also drops us on the balance a lot, as we can see. But with that, let's have this upgrade here working and this upgrade here working too for the ramps. And this one here as well. That was a cheap upgrade anyway. There you go. So, canned food is now working, the cannery. One more thing I forgot to add is we are having now the iron production here, right? In Swanell, but we're not getting the iron over there at the moment. Let's see if we can change this a bit. Now, that's full unfortunately, so this one is fully used. Do we have any other trader? We have the soap trader working here right now, full as well. But there's still some room, and we can get some iron now over there, right? So my soap trader is doing it, and I think my sausage trader could do the same thing. We are never really full on sausage. Let's also use one of these slots here for the iron. And with that, we don't need to use a new ship here, because let's face it, traffic is increasing, and I don't want to congest my harbor area too much. Let's also add those depots, and finally also add tier 3 medium to large trading posts. Now upgrade for Scanlon, a proper building for a proper city. Yeah, and with that, we really just need to wait a bit. The sewing machines is already coming in. The canned food will be next, and then the fur coats. And then we have everything set for engineers, and with that, the age of steamships. Stay tuned.